Welcome to
Fanboy and the Snob.
This is where we drunkenly talk about movies that we forced each other to watch that we normally wouldn't have seen or watched.
But this time, instead of making Chad watch a bad movie, I made him watch a good one.
You haven't made me watch a bad one yet.
Well, that's because you won't watch any of the bad ones I keep trying to make you watch. You make me watch bad movies.
Tonight we were talking about The Night Eats the World, a French film made in French.
Made in France. Based off a book.
Yeah.
Which I didn't read.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know it was based off a book until I started researching it.
Why read when it's just going to be made into a movie if it's good enough? If
Yeah,
it's
but
not good enough to be made into a movie, why read it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's, we'll get to it later, but I want to, the reason I want to read the book is because there's a scene in the movie that was quite obvious, but I think in the book, depending on how they do that scene, it could be way more interesting.
And the way we go about the show is full fucking spoilers.
Yeah. But first, let's give, who directed it, Chad?
His name is Dominic Rocher.
And it came out in
2018.
It stars some people you've never heard of before. The main character's name's Sam, and his name is Anders Danielson Lai. Sounds made up. Sarah is some lady's name who I'm not going to butcher because I feel like that would be disrespectful. And then Alfred is played by Dennis Levant.
Poor Alfred.
Alfred was a great character.
Yeah.
So the plot of the movie is this guy goes to his ex-girlfriend's house to get his stuff, and he gets whacked in the face with a camera, and then he passes out from like a concussion or something, maybe?
Pretty much the way it goes. Goes to the house to get the stuff. Girlfriend's like, hey, mingle at the party. It'll be good for you to meet some new people. Which gives a little thread in the seam of he seems like a dull guy, doesn't like going out.
Well, also, I think the girl was trying to... I think she broke up with him, and her being like, I'm so glad you came, was her, like, being like, well, if he gives it a shot, I'll go back to him, but instead he's like, just give me my fucking tapes, I want to get the fuck out of here.
Well, she did have the new boyfriend there.
Yeah, but she kind of, like, shoves him
She
off.
felt very uncomfortable when
She,
he
like,
came.
pushes him away when
Yeah.
so, like, she was still into the ex, and obviously they had a fight about something that led to the breakup.
Yeah. But there's, like, a lot into this movie that if you just watch
A
it...
lot of subtle subtext, like... It's not a movie you can just turn on and walk away, even though a lot of scenes, nothing's fucking happening.
But if you... we'll get into the
There's a
background
lot of
scenes and stuff.
a lot of scenes where it looks like
Like,
nothing's happening.
There'll be like a
There's
second scene and go into the next scene.
But just, the scenes where he's just kind of like staring at a wall and you're like, what's the fucking point of this? You're like, this is what he does all day.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to do.
But the scene he was talking about, he goes to the hallway to get to the room and stuff is, gets knocked in the face.
Some dude with one of those
and
Polaroid...
he's already wasted. I think he's wasted at this point.
They only show him
drinking
a white wine out of a stemless glass, and then I think he has a whiskey drink.
I think you're supposed to like assume that he's already kind of close.
A glass of wine?
No,
hold on.
No,
a glass of wine and a shot of whiskey gets you drunk, Chad?
He is drunk because he goes up to the girlfriend and gets all pissed.
No, the girlfriend comes up to him, and he's just like, I want my stuff so I can
if you
leave.
see him at the beginning, I don't think he would impulsively do this
True.
unless he was drunk.
Yeah. But then again, drunk off a glass of wine?
Off-camera drinks, man.
Yeah, but
Suspension of disbelief.
Me and you at that party.
Yeah, but he's some dullard who doesn't drink. So he has a glass of wine and fucking whiskey.
So if some dude smashed me in the face with a camera, I'd make an issue out of it.
And he's a dullard. He's very
I would have
passive.
been like, you better apologize right fucking now.
And the way they did it, it was kind of an accent, though. The dude was walking down the hall.
That's all the more reason. I'd be like, what the fuck, man? You know?
Different personalities.
Yeah, I guess.
So then he goes into the room, gets his stuff.
Finds his tapes.
Yeah.
Which is very important because he uses those tapes throughout the movie.
Yeah. Which I don't know if he listens to those tapes because we'll get to it. We'll get to the tape.
Yeah.
Because that's a hilarious scene, actually, when he listens to the kid's tape.
Yeah. And it's the kid making his own music.
But pretty much he, like, wakes up, and he's all groggy and everything, grabs the stuff, goes out.
No. He wakes up. You're missing the impact of this scene. He wakes up, all groggy, and when he opens the door, it cuts to the hallway, and you just see blood.
I was getting there!
You weren't selling it, though. Blood everywhere. I want to... Whoever did the set design in this movie, like, you could have just stuck a paintbrush in some fake blood and done that and just had your blood
No,
spatter.
it was dirty.
No, they went... Yeah. They did handprints. They had, like, this is from a gunshot. That's from a head wound. You know, like...
And the best part of the scene is he goes and opens the door. So like, it's an apartment building. So he goes and opens.
He's on like it's like a 7-story apartment
think he's
building, and I think he's on number 6.
Yeah.
Because he does go up.
But he opens the door and he sees his girlfriend there, and it shows half her face. And all of a sudden he says her name, and the face turns. It's just all mangled.
Wait, that was his girlfriend?
Yeah.
I thought his girlfriend was the one when he was sniping the zombies with the paintball gun that he looked up at and then looked down.
No, I'm pretty positive that was his girlfriend.
I'm pretty sure he just went, hello? And then the zombie. Best thing about the zombies, no sound.
Yeah.
They don't make a fucking, there's no, you know, it's just, as they try to like get at you.
Yeah.
I like
Like
that.
I wouldn't necessarily. They're more 28 days later. So
They're 100, they're 20 days. I like how short their attention span is too.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you're out of sight and not making a sound, they give up.
And they actually put it in the movie where like sight is a big thing for the zombies. Once the zombie
When he
gets
gets the fucking
Yeah.
towel over its head. I know, right?
The way they did, a lot of this stuff's really cool.
The way they did this movie was really. I don't like zombie movies. I think zombie movies are very boring, and it's the same 6 scenes over and over again. I've never seen a zombie movie like this. Like, the reason Night of the Living Dead is so great is because you're watching Night of the Living Dead, and you're like, don't do that, do that! And then the character explains very...
Well,
like, you understand why the character is doing everything, and you're like, I get why you thought running to the basement.
The problem with a lot of zombie movies is they focus too much on the zombies.
Not the people.
Or
when
Shaun of the Dead did it the best.
I was just about to say, or
Recently.
when they focus on the people, they fail miserably. Shaun of the Dead
Yeah.
is probably the best zombie movie ever made, next to Night.
I think I actually enjoy Shaun of the Dead the most.
I have more fun watching Shaun,
Yeah.
but technically speaking,
Respecting the OG.
you gotta respect the OG.
Yeah. Even Dawn of the Dead, though, and having fun in the mall and everything.
The biker gang, when the biker gang shows
Like,
up,
George Romero, what is older
went crazy.
movies,
He
he
went
did
crazy.
great with character stuff. Then, even Land of the Dead, though, they kind of had a lot of...
I like that George Romero in the 60s had a black guy as his lead character.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, main character's black and he gets killed by a white guy at the end of the movie because racism, and you're like, this is a good movie with a decent message. I enjoy this. And then you watch Day of the Dead and you're like, where'd all your metaphors go? This is confusing. I don't know what's happening anymore.
He was making lore, man.
But the fucking...
And it worked when we get to Land of the Dead and they were fucking thinking and all that stuff.
But then...
Yeah, but no, because Day of the Dead was the second one, right?
It goes night, dawn, day.
Alright, so it does make sense. Then.
You know, like a sunrise.
Yeah.
You know?
Like War of the, or Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Don't even... I don't know
Why
the
they
fucking
name, why they name
continuity.
it like that? It's stupid.
I don't know the continuity on the Planet of the Apes movies anymore.
No, but like, alright, get back into the movie. Pretty much, like, until he gets to a certain point in the movie, it's him just kind of going through the apartment
He
building.
doesn't speak a word.
Yeah.
For like, the movie is 2 hours long, he probably, hour and a half, he doesn't speak for like 45 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And even in the beginning when he's yelling at his girlfriend for his stuff back, the music in the background, because they're at a house party, you know, DJs and all that gay shit, is blasting so loud that all you can hear him kind of going like, weird, like, you know, like you can't, and it's based off his like when the boyfriend comes over and puts his arm on the girlfriend and you see them both get mad, and then
You know what the bigger
like,
piece of shit moment is? She never went to the room to talk to him.
No.
Now, is that because shit happened, or because she just blew him off?
When he's walking to the room, this is something I picked up on my second watching. I've seen them. If I see a good movie, I watch it twice. On his way to the green room where he sits down, as you look in the bathroom at the girl that's hugging the toilet. On this side of the screen, there's a door that's being like boom, 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 boom.
Really?
Like something's trying to get out of that room. Now, whether or not that was just like some people in a, like bang, 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 bang. You know, I saw that and I was like, yo, the invasion started in this apartment.
That's pretty cool.
He was ground zero, and because he was locked in the room and because the zombies give up so quickly, he was the only one to survive.
Now, before we get into like more positive, one of my only gripes is how weren't there more zombies in the house? Did people just like panic and flee the apartment? Is that
Yeah.
like the big?
Well, they show you with that family.
Yeah.
Remember where the son is infected? I assume the son, and then the dad and the wife and the daughter. That scene was rough.
Yeah, he fucking beeps the horn. The guy's like, no, no.
And again, this is where I chalk it up to a zombie movie where zombies have never been thought
Yeah, it's
of.
like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, where no one has ever thought of a zombie before. So when it does happen, they're like, wait, undead people? You know, like, wait, they're attracted to noise? Like, he had to learn that they were attracted to noise because he's never experienced it before.
That's one of his first mental breaks he has.
Yeah, the drumming scene.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he finds the kids. Imagine walking into a kid's bedroom and knowing that kid's dead. It's like,
Little kid punk room.
also, zombie children.
Yeah,
You never see that.
the little girl.
You never see zombie children, and you never see zombie children getting killed.
Dawn of the Dead remake.
But that was like a zombie baby. Come on.
She was as old as the fucking kid in this movie. That was brutal.
Oh, in the opening of Dawn of the Dead remake.
That was was
That-
one of the best openings.
Best opening to a zombie movie. That kind of did what this did, except less extreme.
Yeah.
Where instead of him walking out into the street and seeing everything on fire and people screaming, he walks out into a street and sees a bunch of dead bodies everywhere, and then one of them starts running at him.
I always wonder if this happened, like, would it... I feel like it would be more like the remake of Dawn of the Dead, though, the way people react to things.
Panic? Oh, dude, look at the way people are reacting to things now. They
like,
burned down a Wendy's.
Just, like, stupid shit like that.
We're already at zombie level intelligence.
Like, I feel like if there was a zombie apocalypse, we would definitely have fire everywhere.
Oh, absolutely, because we don't have a zombie apocalypse and we have fire everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure, we're gonna have fucking fire everywhere.
I don't know, maybe in France they wouldn't.
France is a tent city. France is disgusting. I am so... Anytime I love the... I like Napoleon, so I love the Arc de Triomphe.
I like French fries.
Okay. And
Freedom fries.
they
Remember that?
spray painted the Arc de Triomphe.
Are they tail?
The Arc of Triumph. The Arch of Triumph. You know, in the beginning, it's Napoleon. He gave himself his own Roman triumph.
You know what's fucked up in the movie?
What?
Remember when, like, he's on the floor just scrubbing it, and the shotgun
Boom!
blast comes through and the guy just killed himself?
Dude,
Oh my god.
what was your first thought when that happened?
Lucky.
I thought the guy below him heard him and was like, Sandy!
Well, that's what, like,
That was my first
we're
thought.
gonna get into a lot of, like, why is he doing this scenes?
The
Which
scene-
I don't even know, because you can't even say that, because we've never been in this situation. Like
The
that.
only reason, my biggest gripe with the movie, and I don't want them to do this, but like time. How much time is he there?
Yeah.
You can only tell based on how clean the apartment gets, how long his hair gets, and how long, you know.
Yeah, but his hair, I feel like
He
changes very
grows it
quickly.
out and then he shaves it, and then and it's like do, and I'm trying to get a time scale here, man.
But that scene, I feel like if somebody shot at me with a shotgun, or if I thought it did, be like, I'm alive. Just give them that little heads up. Be like, hey, don't kill me.
But at the same time, someone just shot at with your shotgun. I don't want them to shoot again. I gotta be quiet.
Yeah, but still, what if they shoot again thinking you're a zombie? And if they hear you moving?
That's why you don't move. That's why he didn't move right away. He waited for...
Yeah, but then he looks through the hole.
But here's the thing. He heard the first shot, which made him be like, what the fuck? And then he heard the second shot. And then he waits. And we don't know... Again, this movie doesn't really tell you how much time he was... He could have been laying there for an hour. Completely still. You know what I mean? Because when he does finally look down the hole, it's... The blood isn't fresh. It's pooled.
Oh, and the friggin'...
Did you notice with the lady in the chair?
I don't think so.
This is something I had to point out to the people I was watching it with. So we watched that scene, and I go, "You guys notice anything about the old lady?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, well, she had a wedding ring on, so she was married to that guy." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good observation." I was like, "You notice the bite mark on her hand?" "No." "You notice that her wrists and ankles were tied to the chair?" "No." So she had been bit, and she had turned, and the old guy was sitting there in his chair waiting for her to turn, blew her head off, and then killed himself.
No.
Yeah, right? That little story, that little 5-minute scene says a fuck ton. Like, this movie's great.
I just love the part where he just starts smelling it, and he has to, like, propel down. and
Oh,
he,
yeah.
He, like, brings the body to the ledge. He's like,
I
fuck,
can't do this. I can't do this.
Where, if that was you, would you just throw the body at a zombie? Be like, die. Or would you do what he did?
I think I would do what he did.
The
Actually, I would burn it in the bathtub, and we all know how that turns out.
One of his many mistakes.
Because he's having a breakdown. But yeah, I like what he did, where he kind of like entombed them.
Yeah, you got like the sleeping bags and
And
everything.
he taped it up, and he left a picture so you know who was there.
Yeah.
Like, this is these two. I liked
He
that.
has a lot of time in his hands, so
It was a tasteful send-off
yeah.
for a murder-suicide.
Like this movie's like full of just dramatic scenes like that though, and it's not even like thrown in your face either.
It's all like, it's just a guy who kind of looks like me, but taller, I assume. Just like this regular, like, fucking dopey guy. He doesn't have a fucking ounce of muscle on him. He's obviously some sort of artsy-fartsy fag, like me. And he's just thrown in this scenario where he's ill-equipped. And he somehow manages to figure it out. He does a lot of practical shit.
Yeah, like if that happen, like you don't see that in movies, like where you collect the food, you sort it out, you weigh it,
You weigh it, you
like,
ration it.
he like literally thinks about how much do I need in a day, but they don't show him doing that. It's just all scenery. That
Yeah,
see,
you
like,
just see it
You
in the
see the scale with the food on.
What
it
about
and
the
everything.
scene where he's sitting in the corner chewing his fingernails, looking at his supply of food, and there's like so little, so you know he's sitting there going, "What do I fucking do? What do I fucking do?"
That's when they show him more scavenge through the apartments and everything.
yeah. I like how he goes to the super's apartment, steals everyone's keys,
Yeah, and he
nails
has
them to the wall so he knows which
Yeah.
key goes where. I was like,
and then he goes to each room, sees if there's zombies in there. If there are, X's it off.
X's the door, and then goes to the next one.
Like, I wonder how many people would like
Think to do that?
Yeah.
Not a lot, man.
Would you in the situation?
Yes, but that's because I'm insane.
Yeah.
What about the scene where he's working out? He
He's,
cleans
like,
out like
jogging and
3
stuff.
of the apartments so he can do his little route.
Yeah, because he's preparing himself for what he needs to do.
Which
Eventually run, but
Or, I don't know, he didn't seem too keen on running.
well, that's him fighting with himself in the
Yeah,
head.
that's the
We'll get to
metaphor.
that, yeah.
That's the metaphor.
But then you have somebody come to the door and you fucking blast him.
No, you have to say before that he has
Start blasting.
he has the nightmare. He has the
Oh
nightmare
my god!
where he's laying in the apartment and you hear a bang on the door. And he wakes up and he looks around and you hear like like running to the bedroom, and he grabs his fucking shotgun because he took the shotgun from the guy that blew his
It's a
brains out.
sawed-off shotgun.
He
That's
sawed
what.
it.
That's what made me know it was a dream. Because if you go back in the movie, it's not sawed off in the actual.
No,
Really?
it's sawed off.
No, he isn't.
It is.
He never sawed it off in the movie.
Yes, he did.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. He sawed off the barrel and the fucking butt.
I thought he always had the long shotgun.
No, he had the long shotgun for like, again, this is why the movie's time is
Yeah.
confusing. Because he had it for like most of the movie.
See, I liked how it was sawed off, and so you kind of knew it was a dream. But when you go to real life, it was kind of
No, it was sawed off in real life too.
Oh.
Because it's sawed off when he shoots through the door.
yeah.
But anyway, so he hears the zombies coming in his nightmare, which we don't know is a nightmare yet. And they bust in the room, and he grabs his shotgun, and it's fucking empty, and he just gets devoured. And it's not like... It's like when Flyboy got killed in Dawn, when he's in the elevator, and they're ripping his guts out, and he's screaming. It was
You
kind of
don't-
like that.
You don't really see the gore because
You see the blood.
Yeah, you see the blood, but the zombies are on top.
They went straight for his stomach and started pulling things out.
It's like Shaun of the Dead. that
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. You don't want to go for the tummy.
Ugh.
Ugh, what a horrible way to... So he has that nightmare, and then some time passes. We don't know because the movie doesn't do a good job of telling time, which is fine because the guy, he has his calendar window, but I was keeping track of the calendar window on the second time, and it must have been edits and reshoots because sometimes it's 48 days, sometimes it's 46 days, sometimes it's 52. You know, I was counting them. I was like, I'm going to see what's up. So they don't really do a good time thing. Then he wakes up in the middle of the night because someone's in his apartment, or the apartment, and they walk up to the door, and without thinking, he fucking shoots through the door. Boom! Hits the lady in the tummy with birdshot through a door. Instantly feels bad. Drags her to the bed. Fucking gets the medical supplies
Now,
out.
does this
Saves her
show
life.
his career? Like, do we ever?
I assumed he was a musician.
I feel like if he knew well enough to get the medical supply and do all the stuff he was doing, he had to have some medical.
Or that's just common sense.
Uh,
I don't know, Chad. If I shot you in the stomach, I'd be like,
Yeah,
we
but-
gotta get that out of there.
yeah, but,
Did you ever watch Three Kings? They go over what happens when a bullet enters your body.
yeah, but you gotta think about panic mode.
His panic mode was save that person's life.
Yeah.
Again, I think he was an artist because nobody has that many 8 tracks and isn't a pretentious artist douchebag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
He knew how to play the drums that well.
yeah, that was cool. The actor actually.
I was actually, at first when he brought out the drum set, I was like, God damn it. You know, I was expecting to see this, but hear blast beats. but then it's actually him playing punk drums, and I
He's
was
just
like,
screaming. The whole time
I was
and
like,
everything.
dang, that kid can play drums. Hooray.
But then after that, the next scene is him doing some stuff, and then the girl starts talking.
Yeah, he
Oh.
saves the girl.
Holy shit!
He saved her.
Yeah.
Because the way I was watching it with my father, my dad knows a lot about guns and how they work. He went birdshot through the door, she'll live probably. And I was like, are you so sure about that, Bob?
That was only because it won't go as deep, it just
Yeah.
kind of penetrates.
It would have gotten like, it wouldn't have,
Like probably
the way he put it is it wouldn't be catastrophic organ failure.
yeah.
Because first off, it's birdshot, it's a bunch of babies about this wide. It's
See, I always
going
thought-
through 2 inches of wood. It's going to lose a lot of momentum and it's going to go, it's not,
See, I always thought it would be more of a blood loss thing.
that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he didn't put any anticoagulant on the wound.
Yeah.
Like, remember that scene in Saving Private Ryan? That scene's brutal. Mama! Mama!
But pretty much in the movie, it goes to them, and they kind of create like this.
They have
family.
like they wind up, I guess you could call it falling in love.
Yeah.
And,
And then like they kind of have like,
we forgot all about him making music.
and we forgot about him meeting
Alfred.
Alfred.
Shit.
Alright, we'll get
Okay.
to Alfred first.
We'll do Alfred first. So while he's going through the apartments, cleaning, because he cleans every apartment, notice all the blood disappears
Yeah.
and he winds up having like a 7-story building he
And
cleans.
you gotta feel like, would you do that? Ease
Yeah.
your mind and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a good like.
It's a good way to waste time.
Yeah.
So while he's just like chilling, the dumb waiter for the apartment comes up and there's a fucking zombie in it. So he kicks the grate shut, takes his belt off, ties the zombie up. Zombie can't get out of it. Turns out the zombie's this doctor named Alfred that lived on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
And
Now was that a made-up story?
what?
The whole doctor named Alfred, was he making that up?
No, because there is a doctor's place. That's where he gets the doctor's equipment.
Oh, alright.
And he winds up calling Alfred this doctor, and he winds up fucking putting a fucking lazy boy next to the dumbwaiter and smoking cigars and drinking brandy and talking to Alfred every night. Him and Alfred become bros.
Now that reminded me of I Am Legend.
It reminded me of Shaun of the Dead.
Hmm.
Shaun of the Dead, when at the very end of the movie,
Yeah.
when they're playing video games together in the shed.
Yeah, but more like going insane.
Yeah,
I
the
Am
going
Legend
insane
was
where he's talking to the mannequins.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I saw it as a more.
Did you like I Am Legend?
No,
Really?
I thought it was a. I thought it was a good.
Did you not like the zombies? How they were just like
Well,
super CGI
Here's
mouths?
the thing. I saw Omega Man before.
I haven't seen it.
Omega Man's the original. They
Based on the comic?
based
Because I Am Legend's a graphic novel.
right, but before it's a graphic novel, it was a movie in the '60s starring Charlton Heston, and before it was a movie starring Charlton Heston, it was a book
Okay, smarty pants.
called The Omega Man. And the idea that my problem with I Am Legend is they never touch into the fact that the zombies have their own fucking society, and he's
They
their
kind of did.
but he's their boogeyman. He's the guy who captures you and takes you away, and
Alright, and the...
then they run into that fucking settlement in Connecticut or whatever. Fuck that.
In the
No.
director's cut, they touch on that.
They don't in the theatrical cut, which is what I saw. And then fucking again,
The
I
dog
talk
scene.
about emotional manipulation and fake caring in movies. Him choking his dog to death, that's supposed to make you go, oh man. But the whole time I was like, dude, just fucking inject it with something. Why you gotta choke it to death? Why not make it? Why
I
not
don't know
make
if
it?
it works.
But why not make its death peaceful? Why fucking strangle? Oh, because it makes normal people feel
Because
bad.
he was hugging it to death. He was loving the dog.
He got it in a fucking
He
triangle choke.
showed... It showed how much he loved the dog, so he was crying, going like this.
And choking his dog to death. Wouldn't you just shoot your dog rather than let it struggle for air for 2 minutes?
Zombie dog, you don't want to have time to go run. If you can just grab the dog and do that, do it. You don't have to go, I had to
What
find my
about,
gun.
yo, this has like cyanide in it, and go to sleep
Yeah, but-
forever.
Is he going to have the chance to do all that?
Yeah, because he had the chance to fucking sit down and hold the
Because
dog.
he did it faster.
So he could have just grabbed some like sodium.
What if it
pentothal.
wasn't right there?
What if it was?
It
That's
wasn't,
what I mean.
it wasn't though.
It's
It
emotional
wasn't right there.
manipulation.
So Will
and
Smith
it's to
had to
trick.
choke out his
It
dog.
is to trick dumb people into feeling bad. Just like the dog scene in Independence Day where the dog is running away from the explosion and you go, oh my god, is the dog gonna make
That
it?
awful
Of course the dog's
That
gonna make it.
Awful CGI.
God damn, it's emotion. If you want people to feel bad in a movie, you kill a dog. every single fucking time.
And you tell people to feel bad in the movie, you have them realize, holy shit, this girl is not
Oh
real.
yeah, turns
He's
out.
just going crazy.
Wait, we didn't talk about the music. So, he plays drums and he learns sound is what attracts the zombies. So he decides, fuck it, I'm a musician. I will make very quiet music using an answering machine to record what I
He
do.
has like that spinny thing. He has
And the
like
top, he has the
the
top.
bottles and
He,
everything.
he flicks water on
Yeah.
paper and records it, and he makes like some fucking shitty music. But I'm sure it was great if you like that
The
stuff.
funniest thing when he had to punk his tape he found in the drawer, it's kid going.
Yeah, the kid making his own punk music with his voice.
Yeah, because we all did that back in the day.
What about all the tapes he heard of people dying?
Yeah.
Anytime he picked up the cell phones and he was just listening to messages. Charles, where are you? Where are you? And you hear a door
No, was
break.
that his mom?
Maybe.
I feel like one of them, the one was his mom.
One was probably his
Because I
mom.
feel like those are his messages.
And he heard his mom getting eaten by zombies.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
So that's super fun.
Imagine dealing with that.
But with all that, you end up. He has a big fight with the girl, being like, "We need to get." She's pretty much says, "We need to get out of
We
this
need to get
house.
the fuck
There's
out."
nothing here."
There's no point in staying. Let's move on to the next thing.
And he's like, "We're safe.
We're
Why
safe.
would we leave?
What?
We're not going to die if we stay here."
I think he says the phrase, "This works. Why would we change anything?"
Yeah.
Which goes back to my overarching statement that this movie's about
We'll explain it
relationships.
all at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. And she's like, "Nah, bruh, we gotta move forward with our lives." And he's saying, "Nah, stay where we are. Everything's fine." And then him and Sarah get into a big argument, and Sarah runs down to the bedroom and slams the door. And he's like, "Sarah, I'm sorry, you're right. You were totally right." And then he opens the door, and Sarah's rotting corpse is laying in the bed because she's been dead from day one. Shot her in the stomach, and she bled to death. And not only is her, like, it's not just a dead, like, she's got mold growing on her.
Yeah, so she had to be there for at least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks, more than that.
Bodies rot fast, especially if it's warm out.
True.
That could have even been like a week. Bodies decompose.
I don't know.
super
Bob
fast.
was like, she's been dead for a while. Bob saw a body that had been, this old guy had a heart attack and died.
8 to 12, no.
No, that's not true. That's like total decomposition. Yeah, you're looking at skeletization. You're not looking at decomposition. Anyway, so Bob like comes into this. He does like a wellness check. You know, hey, Mister, you alive? You alive? Gets into the apartment. Guy died 2 months ago and had melted into the carpet. He was just like this weird moldy.
That's like the movie 8 or whatever?
Yeah,
7?
like-
Wow, 8.
Bob walked in on that. Bob also walked in on a guy who blew his brains out, and his dogs ate him from the toes up to his waist.
Yeah, dogs are brutal, dude. They don't give a
Cats-
fuck.
Dogs wait 8 to 10 days.
Cats immediately.
Cats wait 3 to 4 hours.
No, cats don't give a fuck.
Cats are not your friend, and anyone who likes cats is an idiot. Buy dogs; they're better.
Cats are evil.
Cats are evil.
Just your average cold culture certified.
Anti-cat. Anyway, back to the movie. Oh, you forget about the part where Alfred and Sam and Sarah are all hanging out, and
Oh.
she's like, "Aren't you scared of it? Alfred's my friend.
Well, the biggest point of that
he
is
wouldn't hurt you, right?"
he, in his own mind, he is holding on to this one thing. The guy's trapped there, so it's like a comfort. He
Yeah,
can
he
talk to
can't-
them. But the way she's being like, no, he's dead. You need to let it go. You need to
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
And you need to just block
Move
it out.
on. Yeah.
And he ends up boarding up the thing, doesn't he?
No,
Oh, that was a different thing.
that was the different door. He boards
Yeah.
that one up.
But he ends up like not going back to him, saying you're right about him and everything. The best part's when he lets him out, and Alfred just walks by.
Follows him upstairs, and he takes him to Alfred's apartment, and he opens the door, and Alfred walks into his apartment, and then he shuts the door.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Alfred. Like, he was right, though. Alfred didn't try to bite him. He didn't try to hurt him.
And I wonder if the zombies in this movie just react to like impulsive moves.
It was the look Alfred gave him before he went into the apartment. He was kind of like hunched over, and he looked at him like that, you know, like all innocent like. And
Yeah.
I was like, shit, dude.
No, that brings the impulsive movements. Of,
Yeah.
like, because they show the scene when, like, at the end of the movie, he ends up, which pretty much fucks the whole thing up. He sets all his tapes on fire.
Because he's fucking...
He's letting go.
Sarah's dead. Fucking Alfred's being a dick. Well, no,
And
Alfred's not being
I
a
feel
dick.
like that's a metaphor of him letting everything go.
Yeah, so he decides to burn his past.
Yeah.
Quite literally. And by doing
Sets
so,
off the fucking fire
sets
alarm.
the fucking fire alarm off. And guess what happens when you set a fire alarm off? All the zombies in the area start coming to your apartment. So they bash their way in. He runs up to the roof. He drops his gun, which pissed me off.
I think that was him more being like, I can't reload this in a...
But at the same time, my brain's like, never drop the gun.
Because you just whack somebody with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's my biggest pet peeve in movies where they drop the gun.
Yeah, so he gets up onto the roof, and Sarah had a grappling hook. We don't even know if Sarah's her... Oh, we forgot to tell why Sarah came to the apartment in the first place. Because after he realizes she's been dead this whole time, he goes through her things, and he finds a DSLR
Oh,
camera.
she's been taking pictures of him.
She took pictures of her and her husband and her kids, and then a shot of him.
Yeah.
So the only reason she went there...
She knew he was alive.
And he shot her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that until you just brought it up.
Yeah.
That's sad as shit, too.
That's because her kids or her husband.
They're all dead.
Are they dead or are they okay and waiting for her to come back?
I think they're all dead.
And then
Because why would the husband send the girl? Not to be sexist, but come on.
Because he has to watch the kids because he's tougher.
Yeah, maybe.
Why do lionesses hunt while the male lion watches the
All right.
Just saying.
I like to think they're all dead.
Yeah, you like to think that.
They're dead.
Then he goes through her shit and he finds a grappling hook. And
That was so random, though.
Sarah's whole thing, well, maybe he knew the grappling hook was there.
Although she, in there...
Yeah,
but...
Maybe he went through her things initially, put it out of his mind.
In his head that go to rooftops.
That's why Sarah kept saying, go to rooftops, travel by rooftops. We get to travel by rooftops. So he runs to the rooftop with his grappling hook, and he throws it, and he misses, and the zombies bust in, so he throws it again, he gets a good look, and just fucking jumps, and swings across a pair of streets, boom, into a wall.
And the very subtle thing, too, was he hits the wall, and he swings, and just ever so slowly hits the back of his head.
Yeah.
The next scene, his head's all bleeding and
He's
everything.
all fucked up.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was going to end there with him dead and dangling. I was like,
I kind of wish it ended like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But then he comes to while he's dangling.
You have the zombie at the window.
And he climbs his way up and he gets to the roof and he starts laughing. Because he took the leap. He did it.
Yeah.
He moved on.
And it shows all, like, what were those, like, cancers? What the fuck was that? Like, urns or something?
No, it just showed him on a roof.
Yeah, but they had, like, all the little cancers.
That's just the architecture style.
It was everywhere, though.
Exactly. Every single roof has those.
No, I thought it was, like, some sign of hope. Like, the people that survived, like...
No.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Unless you're confusing that with the scene where he's collecting water on the rooftop and he has all the pots.
No, because in the whole thing, like, he's arguing for there's no sanctuary, there's none of this, none of that. So I thought, like, if he gets on his head, those are, like, things, like...
Maybe I missed that. I don't know, the way I took it, again...
I feel like they wanted you to kind of...
leave it ambiguous.
Because I feel like they tried to go with the happy end to be like, follow this and you'll find the...
Yeah. So anyway, he escapes his apartment building, gets onto the roof, laughs, and then it fucking ends.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Because this is my theory.
I think it was like an hour and...
Hour and a half. Hour
38 minutes.
Yeah. What's great about this movie is, I don't think it's actually a zombie movie. I think this is along the lines of Marriage Story, where it's about a relationship.
I still haven't watched Marriage Story.
I still haven't seen it either. I feel like it'd make me way too depressed.
Patty won't watch it with me.
Yeah, my mom watched it and was like, I don't think we should watch this as a couple, to my dad.
That's what Patty's saying.
And I was like, I don't know if I want to see it then, because it sounds like it's horrible. But yeah, the whole fucking movie, I think, is about a metaphor. I think his girlfriend, prior to the breakup, said, hey, when are we going to get married? And then he went, why would we get married? Things are fine the way they are now. And then she breaks up with him, goes to the party. I just want my things. I want to keep myself the same. And she's like, no, be open, be new. And then the zombie invasion happens.
It was definitely a zombie movie, but they tried to be sneaky.
And then Sarah being like, you can't stay here. You have to move on. You know, you have to be more open.
And this is where we're going to get into the...
Chad wants to.
There's only like 6 bad Rotten Tomatoes. They only had 39 reviews of the critics, and only 6 of them were negative.
We believe the people who reviewed it bad didn't actually watch the whole movie.
I'm just going to give you like little quotes. First one from the Cinemanologue. In avoiding zombie cliches, the filmmakers forget to replace them with anything else. Did you watch the movie?
You didn't watch the movie.
Do you want to explain why that's bad?
Because the zombie cliches are guy sacrifices himself after getting bit. Scream Queen dies. badass dude with a gun saves everybody. Those are zombie cliches. Nobody likes that shit.
Yeah, but that's like watching. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger's Maggie got kind of bad. Did you see Maggie?
I started it and I fell asleep. I didn't
It's good.
finish it.
It's good. But that's why that got bad reviews because we'll get. That's another Force watch I might make you do.
Well, I'll
From
watch that on my
The
own.
Los Angeles Times, no matter how spare and arty the night eats the world, there's nothing here I haven't seen before. Yes, there is a lot.
Actually,
I've
there's
seen
a lot
before.
of scenes before that I've never seen before. I mean, the paintball scene was reminiscent of the Dawn of the Dead remake, where the guys are sniping from building to building zombies like Rosie O'Donnell, and then the guy kills a zombie he thinks looks like Rosie O'Donnell, and then
Yeah, but it was played differently. This is more of a frustration thing,
yeah,
where that was them having fun.
yeah, that was them. Again, both movies do. If Dawn of the Dead remake was more of that shit and less of the zombie cliches, it would have been an amazing movie like
Yeah.
this one.
This from the New York Times. The makeup design and chase scenes are route. What did route mean again?
Methodical, repetitious.
It wasn't.
There's like
There's like three.
wait. How many chase scenes are
There's
there?
probably like three. Where
There's
he had
one
to
where he
escape.
opens the door, but then he instantly shuts it. There's one where he goes into the apartment and shoots the gun into the air and then shuts the door. And then there's the one at the end.
Yeah, there's like three.
Oh, and the cat. But those aren't really fucking chase scenes.
And the cat scene, we never talked about the cat.
Oh yeah, the cat scene.
So pretty much there's scenes where he sees a cat and he's like, companionship?
And he's like, "Come here, kitty, kitty." Opens up some food. He's like, "Come on, kitty, kitty, kitty."
But the cat doesn't want to leave its owner.
Or
'Cause
was that its owner, or the cat was just?
I
being
like
a
to.
fucking
I like
cat?
to think that was its owner. It's being
Nope.
loyal.
I think the cat was being a fucking cat.
But this dude from the New York Times, the makeup design and chase scenes are out. Which makeup design in this movie was great.
Yeah,
You don't need zombies to look super gory, they're just dead.
they could just look like The Walking Dead, where they put a rubber mask on them.
But they just died.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And the little dramatic conflict, arguments over where to hide, traffic is the oldest cliches in genre. He was arguing from himself where to hide.
also he never really argued where to hide. Never once did "we gotta hide" come up in the conversation.
I feel like they're trying to be like between the girl, but that's still between his head.
Also, if you had watched the whole movie, you know the girl was a figment of his
Yeah.
imagination. And
Another reason why we don't think they did it. And
Yeah.
this guy's attacking the director. Dominic Rocher reinvigorates the zombie film, only succumbs the strictures of the coming of age romance.
apparently, this is
There's no romance. There's just him coming to terms
It's-
with his own life.
It's not a coming of age romance. It's a coming of age death of a relationship and getting over it. I mean, I guess you could count that as a romance, but I wouldn't put that on the fucking same thing as like that movie Paper Towns or whatever the fuck that thing was.
One of the biggest hacks now, Roger Moore.
Oof. Hot take.
Wyatt. Dude,
No.
every review I read of his,
He's
just,
annoying.
he tries to get bad. Like, give bad reviews now.
Well, Roger Moore was the worst James Bond.
Quiet, contemplative.
Contemplative. Parisian. Jesus Christ.
He's
A-
using big words.
A
He gave it a 2.
quiet, contemplative Parisian zombie movie, or that was the intention. Dot. Dull. Dot. Fuck that guy.
If you actually watch movies and like character studies and all this stuff,
I'll give it the movie slow.
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
it's-
call it dull.
Yeah, but it's not. It's slow, but it's not dull because you're interested. You're actually intrigued in what the guy's gonna do.
When I watched this movie last Monday, I only watched it to go to sleep. I was like, zombie movie, I know
Yeah,
that
then you
it's-
were like, I stayed up and watched
I
it.
stayed
I'm
up
like,
till
fuck.
2 a.m. watching it. Like, fuck, man, that was a good movie.
And probably the people that shouldn't be reviewing movies variety.
Yeesh.
The Knights of the World just feels like several rudderless months stuck in a building with a guy who probably wasn't all that fascinating before the zombie struck, and isn't any more so now.
That's the point.
He's this dude, just like...
He's a normal
There's a
guy.
reason why they broke up. There's a reason why she was being polite to him. He wasn't a bad guy, but she just didn't want to be with him because he was dull.
Or she
He
wanted to
wasn't
be with
adventurous.
him and he wouldn't take the leap, like was what I'm saying.
It can go both ways.
It can go both ways. The point is, the guy was a fucking loser, and then by the end of the movie, he's finally become himself. What?
I don't know, I was checking his
Yeah.
But-
I
It's just like, I don't know. We're not trying to say this movie's
Here's
the
a
greatest
good
movie
review.
ever
Here's a
made.
good review from
a different move in most zombie films, which proves to be refreshing. It's less mayhem oriented, quieter, and more drama than horror.
That's exactly
good
what the
premise of
movie
the
is.
That's like the best premise of the movie. There's one jump scare in the movie.
You keep saying that, but I don't remember it.
It's this one scene where he's in the hall, he's looking around, then all of a sudden a zombie comes from the corner and grabs him, pushing him up against the wall. And it's that first scene where he has to get back into the room.
Oh, when he first goes into the apartment and he steps on the thing.
That was the only jump scare. The rest was like natural.
I like no movies. I think this movie did it, but not a lot of movies can do barefoot on wooden floor.
Yeah.
You know that sound?
The slapping.
They did it in this movie because you hear it before you see it coming, so you hear the footsteps and you're like, "Is that a person?" And then boom, you know. Some good sound design in this fucking movie.
But overall,
80% or 60% of filmmaking is the music score, and this movie had great. Like, it worked. The sound design was fucking amazing. This movie's also a book. I want to read the book.
So, final thoughts on the film.
Final thoughts. Liked it. Recommended. I think I've told everyone I know personally to watch this movie.
It was you can quote this on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ayo.
A very refreshing genre piece.
Let
me rephrase that. A very refreshing take on the zombie genre that leads into a nice character study of relationship statuses.
Yeah. I hate The Walking Dead with a fiery hot passion.
Alright. The first couple of seasons were amazing.
Season. But, yo, let me ask you something, Rick. Like, fuck off, guy. Go away. You're annoying.
He's so greasy.
He's so greasy. Every movie. Let me ask you something. He says it. And he always, even when he's playing the Punisher. Han, let me ask you
Norman
something.
Reedus? He never played the Punisher.
No, Norman Reedus. I'm talking about the guy. Rick, where were you when I was defending your daughter? I was in the hospital in a coma. Yeah, Shane. He does the same. Let me ask you something. He does the same thing with every
he's
character.
kind of greasy too.
Norman Reedus can suck a dick. He was great in that Kojima game, but whatever. It was a video game.
Boondock Saints was good.
You're right. Boondock Saints was good.
Not the second one, though.
No.
The second one
Anyway,
was trash.
my thoughts on this movie are...
Remember when they made the female version of Willem Dafoe's character?
I actually made my parents watch American Psycho last night. And when Willem Dafoe's character came in, Bob was like, I didn't know he was in this. And I was like, yeah, it's a fucking great movie, ain't it? Dude, we were laughing. And I know, we'll do an American Psycho review later. Anyway, yeah, my thoughts on the movie are, best zombie movie I've seen since Shaun. Straight up.
Yeah, it did a lot with the less is more.
Exactly. I don't...
Like, there's a problem with these sci-fi movies coming out where they're like...
Everyone's favorite part about zombie movies is walking out of the theater going, well, I would have done that different. That's the best part about a zombie movie. And this movie has that, where you're watching this...
Every fucking scene.
Every single scene. You're
and
just like...
the thing is... God damn.
I know, right?
There's a lot of scenes where, like, I wouldn't have done that.
And at the same time, you're like, I wouldn't have thought of doing that. And it's cool. You just get to see one dude deal with a fucking zombie invasion in like a very realistic and relatable way.
Yeah.
Whereas you watch, what's his Boy Scouts versus Zombies or whatever that was.
I kind of enjoyed that movie.
What about the one with Adam Driver and?
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, again. Yeah, another zombie movie that no one fucking cares about. Yeah.
I'll give a hot take. I didn't think Zombieland was the greatest.
I had to be talked out of leaving the movie theater.
Really?
I got up in the middle of that movie and I was like, I'm fucking done. And then my friends were like, no, sit through it.
The reason I wanted to watch Most of all is because of Woody.
I love Woody Harrelson.
And then he's like, they did the whole nut up or shut up. And I'm oh, this is stuff that's going to be like memes and like...
I hate coconut. Not the flavor, just the texture. When they're eating all the Hostess snacks.
And like, why do you have to call each other by like your state or town?
That way you don't get attached. But by giving someone a name, you get attached, you fucking idiots. And let's go to the theme park.
Let's go on the amusement ride.
Let's turn all the music and lights on. And they're making a second one. What
they made
story?
it. They tried making a TV show. They made the second one.
Wait, the second one came out already?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then Amazon tried making a TV show, and that just can't.
But like, how many stories?
I understand why people like it because it's a stupid comedy.
Oh, it's definitely a funny movie. There were a few parts where I
Yeah.
laughed.
I like the Bill Murray stuff in it.
Mm.
Because he's like, dress up like a zombie, walk around, I can do whatever I want. And I'm like, I wonder if that would work.
Mm.
Shaun of the Dead did it.
I don't like that. I just don't like it. And I just shit on them a second ago, but Walking Dead did it the best, where you have to cover yourself in
Yeah.
zombie guts. That makes way more sense in my mind. Then again, it's fucking zombies. They're magic. It doesn't matter.
But overall, I'd recommend the movie.
Oh, straight up, dude. This is, I know I don't give typical numerical reviews. I do own it, rent it.
Probably
Ignore
give
it.
an 8.75.
I would give this an own it. For sure. Buy this movie.
I don't think
You wouldn't watch it again?
No.
You wouldn't watch it again with someone who hasn't seen it?
Maybe twice. I would only watch this movie twice to pick up on the things you said. But I don't think this is a rewatchable movie.
I've seen it twice, and I'm thinking about watching it a third time. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah, I might show it to Patty.
I would show this to anyone who's like, man, I want to watch a horror movie. I'd be like, all right, but you got to pay attention. And I'd throw this. This is a movie you have to fucking pay attention in.
Yeah.
There's no real big audio cues. Because you know how, like, when you're watching a movie nowadays, you just can look at your phone and wait for that dun-dun, and then you look up and you catch the action?
The best part of this movie, too, Finn slept through the whole thing.
Because it's quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to be able to
I mean,
watch
except
it.
for the punk drumming scenes.
Yeah, but he fucking sleeps through everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would buy it.
I would buy it. I would buy it, and I would put I like the poster. That's a cool poster.
Yeah.
We gotta put the poster up. That's a cool poster.
I would hang that.
Yeah, I would hang that on my wall.
Definitely would pay to rent it to have somebody watch it.
I would pay.
That's my recommendation. I wouldn't necessarily buy it, but if I wanted somebody to watch it bad enough, I would pay the $6.
I saw this free on Amazon Prime, and after watching it, I was like, wish I had spent $5 on this. This was a good movie.
Instead of Riddick.
Yeah, I would much rather give these people money than the people who made fucking Riddick.
Yeah. But definitely check this movie out. Let us know if you've actually seen this movie in the comments.
Yeah, I don't I go on a
I
lot
don't
of.
think anybody has.
I go on a lot of.
It only
film-
has 36 critic reviews.
I go on a lot of film forums and stuff like that. And I don't see anyone talking about
It's
this.
super French.
Yeah, but
It's you wouldn't even know it's a French movie besides for the credits.
Yeah, the opening credit. Well, that and there's a lot of telltale signs of French cinema. They like to linger. Like, let's say we were filming Your Death.
Yeah, but that's where the independent shit comes
No, that's specifically French. French
Yeah.
people love to just film this for 5 minutes.
Well, if you're a novice like me,
You don't notice it?
yeah.
French-
But watch this movie, and if you watch this movie, comment and let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I recommend it highly. I think
Don't-
everyone should watch it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like these videos, you can put movies you want us to watch in the comments, and we'll tell you if we're not going to watch them or we might.